This is America here, baby. This is great. I love it. Here we go, baby. I'm going to help you be successful. That's my job. Believe it. I've been doing this 27 years. That's a fact. Disney ESPN ain't going to help you because none of them know the right side. Trust me, they know nothing. Let's kick their ass. They don't know the damn thing about handicap. And I'm coming after you, Disney. I'm the guru. I'm Sportsguru.vegas. That name was earned by picking winners. That's how it works. Make no mistake, I'm here to win. Absolutely. Good afternoon, gurus. Welcome, Sportsguru.vegas, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, greatest city in the world. Yeah, that's my other line. We're okay then, Martin? Yep. All right. Welcome to my show. You new followers on TikTok and Twitter X, welcome. And thanks for being with us today. Continuing on, well, we have NBA starting today, gurus. So it's our first day of having the National Basketball. If you haven't been with me, we're ahead in that as well. They obviously have had some time off, so we've been waiting, and that's why I started the show yesterday to kind of coincide with that. So, the NBA is going to be with us through the playoffs. It'll be April, the end of the regular season, then we go into the postseason, and we'll be mixing up some plays with the baseball and stuff like that. So it'll be fun, gurus. We'll have a good time. Yesterday, kind of a tough day. That Pacific team, and I did talk about that at the beginning of the show or towards the end. Pacific's just been one of those teams that I've tried numerous angles to win with them, and I haven't had any success. And they're a disgusting team. I wish I could see that coach. Sometimes in Vegas, they have coaching clinics, and you might sometimes get a chance maybe to recognize one of these clowns. This is disgraceful. But that's the way it is. Spanos, I noticed they play in the Alex Spanos arena in Stockton, and that's actually the owner of the Chargers. There you have it. What have they ever won? But they do have Harbaugh this year. We'll see how that goes. So I might just never bet Pacific. And gurus, yesterday I put the 4 teams out because of Pacific. I was hoping to catch one of the first 2, either Western Carolina or the other game we had, Marshall, who played very poorly. But again, James Madison's the best team in that conference, and that's going to happen. And, you really have to have these numbers tight, gurus, especially on these smaller conferences. So we're going to bounce back today. We have actually 2 college and 1 NBA round robin today. And we'll get into that very shortly. So again, I want to thank you guys for being with me today and subscribe. I saw we had more viewers yesterday. That's a good start. We took a few days off and we want to build that up. And I'll be going on the Strip this weekend and promoting the show as well. I do think we have reasonable bets today, gurus. I think we have a bounce back day today. We're usually pretty consistent. The bigger the board is for me, the more choices I have, certainly the more work, but the better opportunities are out there. So we hope we get that done. So go ahead and subscribe. You want to follow me on Twitter, X, TikTok. So here on the show, we talk about the games, more news that pertains to our bets, winning our bets. And mainly that's what we focus on. It's about a 45-minute show. Depending. And I just like to get the games out there for you guys. Also, you can comment on the show. Usually Mark comments on a regular basis, but you're welcome to comment. You have any questions you want to ask, certainly feel free to comment. I've been helping people win at sports for 25 years. We were due to have kind of a correction yesterday, if you want to call it that. But again, I have to be more careful too about some of these positions, but you put them out there and you try to compete. And yesterday was the first day we had some issues, so we need to bounce back today, gurus. So here we go. Let's start off with the first. I'm just going to randomly take it, but this is our one we have at home. And I always have round robins. For you new followers, we release round robins. But I've been promoting you can bet both, the straight bet and the round robin. 1 and 3 yesterday kind of doesn't matter pretty much. You're going to lose anyway. But on days where you go 2 and 2, you'll save money. So you do it how you want. There's one way to do it is to bet more money on the straight bet and then back it up with the round robin. That's a safer investment. You want to keep the round robin going because the multiplier effect. So when we have days like we had 2 days ago, 6 and 1, Saturday we went 8 and 1. On those type of days you want to have, that's where you want that multiplier to kick in. And that's why we do the round robin. Not many companies can release enough games to even win a round robin, but I'm not like other companies, Guru. So Mark and I have a lot of experience working together, and that's why we want to help you guys make some money here. So let's get into these games. We have a college basketball, Hofstra. Again, we're all in the conference areas now. Yesterday, we talked about some of these teams are bubble teams. And so we're going to look, to try to catch some of those. So, I explained that for you new followers, new viewers, there's different times of the season. We're entering towards the end, obviously, of the regular season in college basketball, getting ready for the conference tournaments, and then we'll roll into the NCAA dance. So we're going to handle all that on my show, and I'll be doing a show through the whole thing. And it's a lot of fun, Gurus, right? And that's what we're here for. We're here to have fun, number one. Then we're here to compete, number two. And I've been saying this since my show. It's our 4th month. And then we want to compete, right? Because we can't make money unless we're competing. And then we have to hit the finish line with some winning bets. And we've been getting it done, Guru. So we need to stay consistent with that. And we'll get that done, Guru. So anyway, let's finish this first round robin. Hofstra on the money line. So we want to eliminate the points on Hofstra. It looks like it's 3.5, 4. I got between 180 and 190 on my betting app. And again, download the ESPN betting app. That's always fun. They have plenty of money to give away. And we're going to go ahead and play Hofstra, eliminate those points. This is two of the top teams in the conference kind of going at it. But I think Hofstra has the advantage in this spot. Obviously, that's why they're favored. But again, this game, we're on the right side of this position. The numbers a little bit heavy, but we got to. For me, Gurus. So in this position here, you have a money line, but you also have a spread, right? You can lay the 3.5 if you can find it. Buy it down to 3. And you want to put your secondary bet on that because the better chance of winning is the money line. You don't have to. This is just how I'm your guide, so I'm suggesting one of the ways you bet it. For me, I would bet this game around. I'd bet money line first on Hofstra, and then I would lay the points on a smaller round robin. That's how I would do it. Tarleton. They're today at home. They're playing the best team in the conference, right? Grand Canyon, who's always a tough team. They're the best team in that conference. But they're at home. We're getting a decent number. I think we're getting 5.5. Buy that to 6. I put 6 on there. And I think Tarleton, again, they don't have to win. So we have some room in this game, Gurus. And, we talked about this yesterday, about some of these teams that are in the top in their conference. They really don't, they're not going to get an at-large bid. So Grand Canyon is not going to get an at-large bid. Even though they had a good preseason, they bet some teams in some bigger conferences. But basically, they're not going to get an automatic bid. They still have to probably win the whole, their conference tournament. They minimum have to make it to the finals. They probably will. They're clearly the best team. They have a good preseason record. But you know what? We have room in this game. We have points. And so we're going to take those points. And, that strategy has been paying off. All the strategies I've been betting have been paying off. So we're going to continue that. Then we're going to go into the Pac-12. We have Arizona State at home. And, Hurley's their coach. His brother's doing very well over there at UConn. And they are, this game's an interesting game because usually Washington's not laying any points on the road. They're more of a home team. They're kind of down this year, Washington. I think ASU is a solid play in this position. We don't have to win. Normally in this type of game, you might be laying a couple points, up to 3, maybe 4. So I think we're on the right side here based on my observation that ASU shouldn't be really a home plus in this spot. Very solid home team. That game will be fun to watch tonight. That'll be a later game. So we have room. Now, on this, we have money line optional. And when I've been preaching, I didn't put it on this particular round robin, but I'm going to talk about it. It's on one of them. What that means, Gurus, is you can play ASU Tarleton money line. They're at home. They can win this game, both teams. And you want to put some money line on. If you're doing just a round robin, your primary bet would be to take the points. Your secondary bet would be to play the money line on both Arizona State and on Tarleton. And so that's why money lines are optional for any of us, right? We can do whatever we want. What I'm here, Gurus, is to guide you through this journey. Let's look at this. I can't describe how many games. There's a lot of games. This is Mark and I started at 7, got done at 11:30. How's that sound? Right? But there's a lot of work to do this properly, to do it right, to present this to you guys so it's easy for you to follow and understand. That's where all the work is, Gurus. And, Mark and I have been doing it for over 2 decades. I've been doing it for 3 decades with my brother and other people. So I'm used to it. But anyway, these are the 3 games we have there. I do like them. They're all at home. And again, we should come back after yesterday's. These positions probably a little stronger. They are stronger today. So we should come back today, Gurus. The next one we want to go to is this one, another college staying in the NCAA. We got Rutgers on the road to start this off. Let's see what I did here. Okay, they're now Purdue just lost their last game, so they're at Ohio State, right? So that means they're going to play hard this game, right? But we're getting 15 in this spot. Rutgers, they can handle that. They can play with this team. That's a lot of points. They lost earlier this year on the road to them, but they have matter of fact, one of their best player is back for Rutgers, and he's been back. He's played like the last 5-6 games. And they've been doing a lot better with this. Obviously, he's the leading point production person. If I go off my show here, so my show runs on software on my computer, you can see the monitor in your screen. And I can't get to the other show, but if you go on the statistics for Rutgers, you'll see that they're playing pretty well lately with this young man who's he's basically their best player so far. Even though he's played a short amount of time. And I look for them to be able to battle these points on the road. And so we're going to take Rutgers on the road in this spot. And we're going to take the 16, if you can get it, Gurus. It's gone down. They're betting Rutgers in this game. So again, Purdue's the best team, quote unquote, in the Big Ten. If you notice about Purdue last year, they went out, I believe, in the first round. And what their problem is their perimeter game, right? They have that monster in the middle, that young man. His name leaves me right now, but he's a good player, right? And he's obviously his height makes him difficult to defend. And he's got skills. He's going to play in the next level. That's pretty obviously. How he fits will be interesting. He's reasonably athletic. He's going to play, Gurus. And we got to overcome that. But Purdue has a problem, with their perimeter game. So let's see if we can take advantage of that, maybe we move the ball quicker, move it around more for this team. I'm not sure what Ohio State did. I know they just beat them at home, and they did just get a new coach, Ohio State. So maybe that's, there's something there. We just want to cover the 16 if you can get it, Gurus. 15.5, 16 if you can get it. You got to get over 15. So we have Rutgers. Then we're going to take Washington State. And I believe Arizona is overvalued in this game. If you look at this number, they're betting Arizona, Gurus. But I like Washington State in this game. They can play with this team. They already beat them this year at home. And this is a high number on the road for a team that wants to get revenge. So I'm going to come back with Washington State in this game and take these points. As far as teams are concerned, they're in second place in the Pac-12, Washington State. They're having a good season. They're basically an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. That's where they're at. So both of these teams are in the tournament. If you look at their resume, they're both already in. So it's more of just it's a revenge game to Arizona, but it's also a strategy game. And I believe these points are too high. They're not betting Washington State. We got a better number. I got 13 on the game. So you want to make sure you at least get 13 for the Cougars there. And then we're going to go to Northridge, and they're at home. I think they're playing Davis, I believe. Gurus. Yeah, they are. There we go. Yeah, they're playing Davis. Now, this is Davis is traditionally a good team in this conference. This is the Big West Conference. Northridge has a new coach, and they lost earlier to Davis. But Northridge, they're a pretty decent team. He did beat UCLA early in the year. That was when UCLA was struggling more. They had new young players on their team, and they were struggling a little bit. But, for Northridge to beat them in UCLA is impressive. And if Northridge can beat UCLA, they can beat Davis at home. The money has moved up towards Davis, which helps us, right? Get a little extra EV value. So I put +2 there. You should be able to get 2 pretty easily in this game on Cal State Northridge. And again, the new coach, trying to maneuver through this league. And I just love college basketball, Gurus. We have so many games here. The next 2 weekends are just going to be insane. This is, Thursdays are always difficult, and Saturdays are twice that. I mean, that's nuts. Literally twice as hard it is. So Mark and I, we usually start working on it on Friday afternoon, and it just goes all day, Gurus. But there's going to be our 8-1 last Saturday, working our tails off. So you have to put the work in. It's kind of like, your professors told you in college. If you're still in college, they're telling you, and they're true in this respect, right? You have to do the work to get results. You can learn as much as you can, but unless you do the work, you won't go to the next level, because that's what it takes to, remember, we're betting against sophisticated software, AI technology, algorithms, other smart people that do this. So, we have a lot of competition, so we have to work hard to see where our advantages lie, whatever it takes, Gurus. And that takes time. It takes a lot of experience, too, to know how all the things, all the variables, right? How does that factor in with the point spread you're getting and the matchup you have? This is extensive, and it's fun, though. It's a lot of work. But if you ask like most coaches who coach at high levels, at any level, but it's the reward of winning. That's why we're doing this. We want to win money. That gives us complete, total satisfaction, right? There's not a bet. There's a there's some great feelings in this world, right? You meet someone special, you have a child, graduation, and there's some anniversaries, some great moments. But when you win a ticket and you're winning and you're feeling good, there's everything else is better than that. But let me tell you something. It's like reliving a great moment in your life. How often can you do that? Yeah, you could go out and do charitable things, and that's what you should do. We all should do that. But I'll tell you, this is a way of competing. It's a lot of fun. And so that's why we do what we do. So just to go back over these, Rutgers on the road, interesting game against Purdue. People are shooting for Purdue. Rutgers they're not going to go to the tournament unless they'd have to win their tournament, and they're not going to do that, Gurus. But we want them to compete and cover the spread. That's what we're looking for. I'm not betting the money line on Rutgers. I don't need to in this game, but you can. Washington State, they could win, right? I would say 10% on this. Why not? You should. These teams could win. Rutgers are going to have a bigger challenge because Purdue just lost, and they're focused. But they're already in the tournament, Purdue. And there is a little bit of that, Gurus. These guys kind of know they're in. Now, what they don't want to do is become a lower seed. But they were a 1 seed last year, Purdue, and lost, I believe. They lost. So what the hell is it? And, I've heard some coaches say it matters how you play lately. And how many times have we seen that in these tournament games? Teams that are playing momentum going into the postseason, the conference tournaments, right? Then they get in. I remember a few years back, quite a few years, when I think it was UConn won it all, and they had to win every game to get in the tournament. So they had to win every game in the Big East, and they did that in the conference tournament. And then they won it all. They kept winning, right? So there's a lot of momentum that matters in this, and how teams are performing later on. We'll get into that as we get closer to the conference tournaments. We're Saturday, we're 2 weeks away from it. It's going to start Monday, I guess, after the games next Saturday and Sunday. I believe Tuesday, I think we'll have the tournament games. And just to let you know, Gurus, those games start early. They're at 8 a.m., some of them 9. And when that happens, obviously I won't be doing a show that early. But what I will be doing is I'll be sending the games out on the TikTok app and the X app as early as 8 a.m., 7 a.m., if that's what it takes. I don't want you to miss any bets. And we're going to be active betting these games in the conference tournaments. So let's go to one more here. Now we finally are into the NBA. Here we go, Gurus. Moneyline Bulls. And I'm sorry. Sixers money line is what I put there. So we're starting a new second half of the season now, right? Now Embiid's out, but they have two guys out too. The Knicks, Abanabi or Abana, however you say his name, and also their center for the Knicks is out as well, Randall. So I don't think, looking at this game, team to team, I think the Sixers can handle this team today. Now, we know the Knicks were hot, right? They're playing good basketball. They're trying to win this year. I like some of the trades they've made to get better. The Knicks are serious, but they're not the best team. But they're going to challenge anyone. If their players come back healthy, they need Adebayo and they need Randall to be able to compete with Milwaukee and Boston. If Embiid comes back for Philly, that's just another team you have to compete. To me, they're the third best team in the East, Philly, when they're healthy. And that's at the least. They might be better than Milwaukee, and they could probably maybe beat Boston. Nurse is a very good coach. And so we'll see how it all ends up. We don't have to concern ourselves with that right now. But the Sixers are at home. They've had rest. It appears to me everyone's healthy. except for Embiid. That's what I see, players that matter. And I see the same on the other side with the Knicks. But it should be a fun game to watch, Gurus. These teams are scrappy, and it'll be challenging to see how Nurse coaches in this game at home against the Knicks. So that should be fun. And then we have the Bulls getting points against Boston, I believe, is what I wrote down here. Yeah, Boston obviously is looking very, very good, right? Porzingis, Tatum, and all these guys are playing very well. Good defense team. And right now, they're the best team in the East, if you look at it from a personnel stand. They're playing that way. Now, I've been able to win against Boston, right? The point value's been really high. We had 2 winners in a row when they were at home. I think Atlanta was one, and I think we won to Washington or someone. So they make a big number. I think they're doing today. You know, the Bulls are no joke. They should make the play-in game. They're in position right now to be a play-in team. And traditionally, they made it there last year, and so they're used to making it. Now, they don't have Levine. He's been out for most of the season. They've actually been playing better without Levine. Tactically, if you look at their overall, they're probably a better team. And they can handle Boston. Again, Boston's probably made the biggest moves, right? They picked up the point guard, Rule Holiday. Great defender, champions, got a ring with Milwaukee. So they don't have any leaks to the Celtics. They're very balanced, very good team. And they're Tatum's, his time's running. He's lost to the Warriors in the finals a couple of years ago, and they were supposed to win it that year. I thought they were going to win it. I thought the Warriors were a little on the older side. And then they lost. They won the first game in Golden State, and they completely tanked after that. They won one more. I think they were up 2-0. I don't remember. But they were in position to win the series, and they couldn't. And I give a lot of credit to the Warriors. Curry had a tremendous series. He was the MVP. He's a great player, as we all know. And so in the last game, so we have this Washington team, right? This Washington team we've been winning with. We've been winning with Washington. And Denver, we've been betting against. Now, Denver is kind of on cruise control, Gurus. They won it all last year, right? If you look at them last year, where were they? They were at the top of the conference. They had the best record. They secured home court. And look what happened. They won a ring, right? They had the best player, Joker. Now, Murray was out a lot last year with Denver. So, they found themselves, they just kept that momentum going all season long. And, Joker's one of the best. If he's not the best, he's certainly there. Great player. And they're going to be there at the end. Oklahoma City and I think Minnesota are the 1-2 teams. And let's face it, are they really the best 2 teams? The answer to me is no. When we put these teams in a playoff scenario, right, and they'll be playing in the playoffs real soon scenario, I believe it's teams like the Nuggets, like the Clippers, right? I believe those teams are probably gonna rise up, and the Suns have a lot to say. With Beal, they have 3 very talented starters, right, with Durant and Beal. And the other young man. So, and really, Gurus, again, the postseason, that is a different season all in itself. And I'm going to be there and carry you through that as well. We're getting 15 with Washington on the road. And obviously, this is an out-of-conference game. But Washington, it's a lot of points they've been covering for us. But I know they've had some rest, Denver. That works against us, I believe, in this game. But they do have a new coach, Washington. He's been an interim coach for 2 months now. And about that, and they've been covering for us. So I came back with them today, Gurus. Now, money lines in this, I don't think that matters as much. They go on to cover the number. But the Bulls, they give this team problems. That's a lot of points at home in the NBA, Guru. So, to recap, we have the Sixers money line at home. The Bulls are getting points against Boston at home. And again, these teams are well rested. And let's hope our players, because of the random point value, maybe we come out with a little more than the other team. Perhaps. We'll see. And then Washington over there, Denver, who's been getting these points for us. 15 is a decent amount of points in the NBA. So we'll see how Denver responds today. They probably were having a lot of R&R, right? I mean, face it, Gurus. This team won the whole thing last year. What do you think they are doing on their week off, right? They know what it takes now to win a championship. It generally takes to be at home, but they're good enough to win it on the road, Denver, if they have to. Even though they're a definite home team, they're good enough to win it on the road, and I think they know that. So they're probably just hanging out. They're in the middle, right? They kind of, and let's hope they don't care as much today, if you will. So there we go, Gurus. That's the 3-round robins. I'm going to come back, and I always show it again for anyone who came late. And again, welcome to the show. And again, Gurus, I'm promoting this show as being a show that mainly we focus on the games. That's why I'm here. And any news that has to pertain to the games, I try to capture any of that. And there's always news, right? But today we're kind of busy. We have 3-round robins today. 2 of them are in college. Obviously, we're heading down the final stretch of the college basketball season. We have 2 weekends left of conference games, and then we have the tournament. So we're nearing the end, and we'll miss it until next year, right, Gurus? We have to wait a year. But we'll have the NBA and baseball will be starting, and some hockey. I like the playoffs in hockey. Hofstra on the money line. They should win this game. Match up well against this team. They should win this game. And Tarleton is a team, they're playing Grand Canyon. This is an interesting matchup for them, but they can beat this team at home, and that means they can cover this game at home. That's what that means, Gurus. So we went with Tarleton, and Arizona State is actually, I would say from a fundamental position, Arizona State probably has the most value to it. Yesterday I talked to you about the UNLV game, and I thought that would be a good revenge game because of what happened to them at home, and they did what I thought. But we knew that. I knew that Pacific game was going to be a tough to overcome. I hate that team. And I'm never going to release them. I don't think this year I can release them anymore. It's really sad that some teams are so pathetic and you just can't do anything with them. But with that being said, so ASU stands out. That number should be actually the other way, but we'll take the points in that. And again, you might want to, if you've been consistent, you might want to bet some money lines with these teams at home. That's why you're watching the show. That's another strategy. So since they're all at home, you go like 80-20 on that, somewhere in that 70 or 85-15, something like that. You want to make sure you cash if you win. Most of the videos I put on TikTok and X, I only talk about the spread. I don't talk about money lines. But especially at home, you can add that money line, Gurus. And then the other game we talked about in college, you have Rutgers trying to cover that 16, try and get that, at least 15 and a half. Again, they're here they're trying to get better before the tournament, not going to go to the tournament. But Purdue's already in, so they don't really have to win. They'll try to win because they lost to Ohio State. Washington State, this is a big game for the Pac-12 positioning, right? And Washington State beat this team already, so they're getting doubles on the road. They can beat them again. Why not? That should be an interesting game to watch. And then Northridge, they have a new coach, right? They're finding their way in the Big West, but they can beat this team. Northridge, they're having a good season, considering it's his first year. And they got a little bit of, they beat UCLA earlier and UCLA. That they got confidence, this team. They do have confidence. And that's something that the coach has to instill. And they actually moved that number up for us. It opened like my +0.5, +1, somewhere in that. We got an extra point. I think that's mainly because Davis, right? They have more tradition in that conference. And then back again, so the NBA gurus, NBA took a week off, and here we go. They're back in action, and they're going to be busy in the NBA. They're going to be playing daily, these teams. So it'll be fun to watch, and we're going to take advantage. If you're new to the show, go back and look at the videos that I've released. You can see we're winning in the NBA, and not many people can do that, so I'm proud of that. I did put all the NBA together today because I feel they're all about the same. And we don't have Embiid, we don't have Levine, and Washington's, they're piecing it together and trying to cover every game. But we have a reasonable shot here today, gurus. And again, I'm gonna do a show. The only way I'm most likely gonna do another show tomorrow because I usually do. But we will probably have a round robin in the NBA. I can't guarantee that, but we might have one with the college, or I might mix it. As long as I have at least one, I will do a show. I want to be more consistent with this show, especially as we lean into these conference tournaments and then into the dance. And I want you guys to be here with me because there's a lot to manage here. So basically what I'm doing is I think there was a 75, 80 game board, and I narrowed it down to you for 6 games, gurus, for you to bet. And again, mix them with your games, right? If you like them, add more. That's up to you. Do what you want with them. You're your own boss. I'm just here to be your guide. And so far, we're going in a very positive direction. I think that will continue, gurus. So no show on Saturday. There's just too many games, simply. Will I do on Sunday? I will if there's late games that I can get out. So if my bets happen like after 11 o'clock or later, I'll do a show. If they're earlier than that, I won't, because I can't do the show. The games are starting. But what I will do is I'll put the games on the videos on X and Twitter, and I try to get them out an hour before the games start. That's what I try to do as best I can, gurus, for you guys. So always set your alerts, right? You want to set it on YouTube. You want to subscribe. It's free, and it helps me grow my business on YouTube. Set the alert so you know when I shoot a show, you'll get an alert, and it could happen on Sunday, but I always try to do it at noon on the same time during the week, Monday through Friday. So, but set your alert, and sometimes we have a technical problem, and I may start a little later, but David and I worked on that, so that got a little bit better. That's all you have to do. Share it with your friends. I need as many followers as I can get, as many subscribers. We're a new show, and that's what we need. I have to deliver these games, and I'll be out there too promoting the show this weekend. So if you guys are in Vegas, say hi to the guru. I look forward to meeting with you and talking with you. And anyway, so we have 3 today, gurus. I will be posting these on Twitter, X, and TikTok. I don't see any more games I'll be adding, so this will pretty much be what we're going to be going with today. And I think certainly we better have better results than yesterday. And I think we will, gurus. I believe we will. Mark and I worked hard to get these games out to you guys. So I believe setting it up, we're pretty much ready to go. We know what our future looks like, gurus. Conference tournaments coming after this 2 weeks. Dance after that. So we want to get as much of this as we can, because once college ends, a lot of the volume of games will change. We won't have as many. Any good investor, like myself, gurus, We like to have volume so that we can come back with other games. If we happen, like yesterday, we lost. So we want to come back with some good bets today. And you can't do that once college is over. It's spread out more. But we have it right now. We're going to make the most of it. And then we're going to roll into the NBA and then into the MLB, okay? So stay with Guru through all this. We're going to roll right into the NFL season. We had a winning year this year in the NFL. I didn't start the show till week 11 of the NFL season. So that was kind of frustrating. I got it out as soon as I could. But we've had a good year. We won a little bit in the postseason, and we hit the Super Bowl big. You know, that was solid. I gave that game out on the videos as well. So look, we have a lot to look forward to, Gurus, and look forward to doing that with me. You can watch Disney ESPN, right, for your entertainment value, for your videos. You know, you want to see how your game's finished. I get that. So do I. I watch it for that. But they can't help you win, right? None of these guys have been doing what I've been doing for 25 years. They couldn't make sense out of all this. It's a lot of work right here, Gurus. And I want to turn this into success for myself and for you as well. So do whatever you want with these games. We have 9 of them today, 3 in the NBA, 6 college. And let's have a successful day today, Gurus, okay? And then tomorrow I'll be live again at noon to 1. If any reason you don't see me, it's only because we don't have a bet, but I highly, round robin, I highly doubt that. I think the NBA will be playing a lot. We'll see. And college will have more games now, too, now that the NFL is gone in college. So come back tomorrow at noon. I want to thank you guys for being with me today. Share this show, right? Tell your friends, just follow me. Hit subscribe. It's all free. And hit your alerts so you can get everything I give you so you don't miss anything. All right, let's keep making it rain, Gurus. We got to keep this momentum going. Had a little setback yesterday. Let's keep going forward today. So come back tomorrow at noon. Thank you for being with me today. I love you. God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow.